So here's a fun little activity to help you visualize the bright spots and the dark spots that you find when you have a two-slit interference pattern. So what we have here is a representation of waves as they're coming through the slits, with each wavelet representing a maxima. So that would be a maximum of the wave, and then here in the middle would be a minima, and then there would be another maxima. So the heavy lines represent the maxima of the waves. So what we want to do is find the places where the maxima overlap. Those are pretty easy to see actually, because that's right where they cross. So here's a crossing spot, and here's another one, etc. So what you're going to do is draw a solid heavy line. I say blue and red, but it's up to you. Just two different colors, so they're pretty obvious. Grab a straight edge and then go ahead and connect the dots, and hopefully you get something that looks like that. And then I'll do another one. So here's another set of connections right there. That's where the two are overlapping. So that would represent two sets of overlapping lines, and you're going to do a whole bunch of them. So you get a little array of blue lines. Now blue lines represent, in this case, the maxima, or where gotta get this one start over here, where the two intersecting lines overlap. Now let's find the minima. So the minima are a little harder to see. What's happening with the minima is where you have a spot where you have a maxima on one wave but a minima on the other. So when you have the maximum on one and the minimum on the other, going to cancel each other out, and you're going to get basically a null, or an overlapping that cancels it out. So if I draw a couple dots to try to figure out where my little line is going to go of destructive interference, it's basically anywhere where the heavy line meets the in between of the other one. Now I'll get my straight edge and get it in red, and I'll connect the dots. And it doesn't like to start. I'm going to have to do this freehand. So it's going to look something like that. Okay? So the red line represents destructive interference. And so what you're going to get is a whole series of overlapping alternating lines. Now what you realize if you look at the geometry of this particular layout is this, oops, that's not the right one, I do want to do this. This line has special meaning because that one's right in the center. It's the center location between the two slits. That is where your brightest bright spot is going to be if you were to shine that up on the wall, because that's where you're going to get the most direct interference. And then the red spots, what you're getting from the red spots is destructive interference. So that's where it's going to become dark. And then you're going to get, again, right next to it, you're going to get another bright spot. Looks something like this. So that's where we get this alternating bright, dark, etc. So with your colored pens, go ahead and sketch out the alternating colors, find the constructive interference, the destructive interference, and look for the patterns that you see. Have fun!